I found out my husband has been sleeping with my younger sister. And that's not even the worst part. The real shock is that I also discovered they both have a secret son. They thought they were smarter than me. They thought I was just a walking checkbook with emerald green hair. They forgot one simple rule. You do not build a billion-dollar business empire by being blind. My name is Serafina. When I walk into a room, people usually stop talking. It might be because of the power I hold in this city, or it might be the way I look. I have a very sharp bob cut, dyed a clean, bright green. It frames my face and brings out the amber color of my eyes. I don't wear dresses. I only wear suits. Expensive, tailored suits that fit my body like armor. My husband, Julian, was supposed to be my partner. He is beautiful, I will give him that. He has platinum blonde hair, pale blue eyes, and he wears Italian wool suits that I paid for. He looks like a prince from a fairy tale, but inside, he is weak. He is a man who likes expensive things but does not like to work for them. And then there is Bianca, my younger sister. She has jet black hair pulled back tight in a ponytail and dark eyes that are always looking for something to take. She has always been jealous of me. She wanted my life, my money, and apparently, my husband. The nightmare started 2 weeks ago. I invited them to dinner at my house. I cooked a roast, opened a bottle of vintage wine, and set the mahogany table. I sat at the head of the table in a cream-colored silk suit. Julian sat to my right in a navy blue suit. Bianca sat to my left in a fitted crimson-red suit. The dinner was quiet. Too quiet. They were acting strange. They kept looking at each other when they thought I wasn't watching. Julian was sweating, even though the room was cool. Bianca kept touching her stomach. "Sarah," Julian said finally, putting his fork down. The sound of the metal hitting the china plate echoed in the silent room. "We need to talk." I looked at him with my amber eyes. I took a slow sip of my wine. "I am listening." Bianca took a deep breath. She reached across the corner of the table and took Julian's hand. She did it right in front of me. She laced her fingers through his. "We are in love, Sarah," Bianca said. Her voice was steady, but her hand was shaking. "We have been seeing each other for a while, and I am pregnant." The room went completely silent. The grandfather clock in the hall ticked loudly. Tick, tock, tick, tock. "Pregnant," I repeated slowly. I didn't scream. I didn't throw my glass. I just stared at them. "Yes," Julian said. He tried to look brave, but he looked like a coward. "We didn't want to hurt you, Sarah, but we can't hide it anymore. We want to be a family. I want a divorce." And Bianca added quickly, leaning forward, "We need to discuss the settlement. We need a place to live immediately. The beach house would be perfect for the baby. We want to keep this friendly for the sake of your nephew." I looked at them. The audacity was breathtaking. They sat in my house, eating my food, wearing clothes I bought for them, and told me they were betraying me. And in the same breath, they asked for my property. They wanted me to fund the life they built by hurting me. "Get out," I said. My voice was a whisper. "Sarah, be reasonable." Julian started. "We are trying to be adults about this." "Get out of my house," I said, my voice rising. "Now." They stood up. Bianca looked back at me with a smug, nasty little smile. She touched her stomach again like a shield. She thought she had won. She thought because she was carrying his child, she had taken my future. But she made a mistake. She underestimated me. I didn't cry that night. I poured the rest of the wine down the sink. I locked the doors, and then I went to my office. The next morning I called Voss. Voss is a private investigator. He charges a fortune, but he is the best in the city. He finds things that people want to keep buried. "I need to know everything," I told him over the phone. "Check their phones, check their bank accounts, check their travel history for the last 5 years. I want to know every breath they have taken." "Consider it done," Voss said. For 3 days, I waited. I went to work. I signed papers. I fired people. I acted like everything was normal, but inside I was burning. On the 3rd day, Voss came to my office. He looked serious. He was holding a thick folder. He placed it on my glass desk and sat down. "You are not going to like this, Serafina," he said. "Tell me," I said, smoothing my green hair. "I can handle it." "The baby she is pregnant with now?" Voss asked. "That is not their first child." My heart stopped for a second. The room seemed to spin. "What do you mean?" Voss opened the file. He slid a photograph across the desk. It was a picture of a little boy. He was playing in a park on a swing set. He had dark curly hair and big blue eyes. Pale blue eyes. Julian's eyes. His name is Leo, Voss said. He is 4 years old. I felt sick. I felt like I was going to throw up. 4? How is that possible? Do you remember 4 years ago when Bianca went to Europe for her gap year? Voss asked. She told you she was backpacking through Italy to find herself. You paid for the trip. I remember, I said. She was gone for 10 months. She wasn't traveling, Voss said. She was hiding. And do you remember all those business trips Julian took to London and Paris that same year? The ones for the logistics merger? I nodded slowly. The pieces were falling into place like a terrible puzzle. He wasn't working, Voss said. He was with her. They rented a house in the countryside. They had the baby in secret. When Bianca came back to the States, she didn't bring the baby to you. She left the boy with a nanny in a rental house in New Jersey, 3 towns over. They abandoned him? I asked, horrified. Not exactly, Voss explained. They have been playing happy family behind your back for 4 years. Julian visits the boy every Tuesday and Thursday when he tells you he is at the gym. Bianca goes on weekends when she says she is shopping. They have a whole secret life, Serafina. A house, a dog, a child. I looked at the photo of the boy again. He looked exactly like Julian. It was undeniable. My husband had a 4-year-old son with my sister, and I had been paying for their dinners while they laughed at me. But there is more, Voss said. His voice was grim. Raising a secret child is expensive. The nanny costs money. The rental house costs money. The private doctors cost money. Neither Bianca nor Julian have real jobs. Bianca works for your charity foundation, and Julian is... well, Julian. So how did they pay for it? I asked, though I was starting to guess the answer. Voss slid a spreadsheet across the desk. It was covered in red numbers. Julian has been embezzling from your company, Voss said. He has access to the logistics department accounts. He created a fake vendor called J&B Consulting. He has been moving money from your company into that account every month for 4 years. I looked at the total number at the bottom of the page. $2 million, Voss said. That is how much he has stolen from you. He used your money to pay for the house where he raises his secret son with your sister. I closed the folder. The sickness in my stomach turned into cold, hard rage. It wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It was a crime. My husband didn't just cheat on me. He stole from me. He used my empire to build his betrayal. Thank you, Voss, I said. My voice was ice cold. You have done excellent work. What are you going to do? Voss asked. Do you want me to call the police? Not yet, I said. A plan was forming in my mind. There is a charity gala on Saturday. All the company board members will be there. The investors, the press. Julian and Bianca told me they are going to be there. They want to debut their new relationship to society. They want to be seen. I stood up and looked out the window at the city skyline. I think it is time for a family reunion, I said. The night of the gala, I dressed for war. I did not wear white. I did not wear cream. I wore a black velvet suit. It was tailored to fit me like a second skin. It absorbed the light. It looked dangerous. My green hair was slicked back, sharp and severe. I put on my diamond earrings. I looked in the mirror. I didn't look like a victim. I looked like a predator. When I arrived at the ballroom, the party was full. The chandeliers were sparkling. The music was playing. I saw them immediately. Julian was standing near the champagne fountain. He was wearing a silver tuxedo. He looked relieved. He probably thought the hard part was over. He thought I was at home crying. Bianca was next to him. She was wearing a white satin suit. She had her hand resting protectively on her stomach. She was glowing. People were coming up to congratulate them. She was soaking up the attention. I signaled the DJ. He saw me and nodded. The music cut out. The room went silent. I walked up to the stage. My heels clicked loudly on the floor. I took the microphone. Good evening, everyone, I said. My voice was loud, calm, and steady. Thank you for coming tonight. Julian looked up. He smiled at me. A nervous smile. He probably thought I was going to announce an amicable separation. He thought I was going to let him save face because I was too proud to make a scene. I would like to propose a toast, I said, raising my glass, to my husband Julian and my sister Bianca. The crowd applauded politely. They didn't know the truth yet. They have recently shared some news with me, I continued. I walked down the stairs of the stage, moving toward them. The crowd parted to let me through like the Red Sea. They are expecting a baby. More applause. Bianca smiled, waving a little. She looked so happy. But, I said, stopping 5 feet in front of them, I think it is unfair to only celebrate the new baby. We should celebrate the whole family. Julian's smile froze. His eyes darted around the room. Sarah, what are you doing? He whispered. I am talking about Leo, I said loudly into the microphone. Bianca's face went white. She dropped her purse. It hit the floor with a thud. Who is Leo? Someone in the crowd whispered. Leo is their 4-year-old son, I announced. The one they have been hiding in a rental house in New Jersey for 4 years. The one Julian visits every Tuesday and Thursday when he tells me he is at the gym. The room gasped. It was a wave of shock that went through the crowd. That's a lie, Julian shouted. His face turned red. He tried to laugh it off. She is lying. She is jealous and having a breakdown. Don't listen to her. Am I? I asked. I pointed to the large screen behind the stage, usually used for charity videos. A photo appeared on the giant screen. It was the photo Voss found. Julian, holding the little boy in the park, kissing his forehead. The date stamp was on the bottom. It was from 3 weeks ago. No, Bianca whispered. She grabbed Julian's arm to stop herself from falling. You hit a child, I said, my voice echoing in the silent ballroom. You lied to everyone in this room. You let my sister live in secret while you played the perfect husband in my house. Sarah, please, Julian begged. He looked terrified now. We can talk about this. Not here. Please, not in front of everyone. Oh, we are done talking, Julian, I said. I stepped closer. Because hiding a child is not a crime. It is immoral, but it is not a crime. But do you know what is a crime? Julian froze. He knew what was coming. Stealing money to pay for him, I said. What? Someone in the crowd asked loud enough to be heard. $2 million, I said, turning to face the board of directors. That is how much Julian embezzled from my company. He created fake invoices. He stole from the charity. He stole from the shareholders. He stole from me. He used my money to pay for the nanny, the house, and Bianca's lifestyle. Julian looked around. The board members looked furious. The guests looked horrified. I didn't. Julian stammered. He looked at Bianca, but she was useless. She was just crying. I gave the evidence to the police this morning, I said simply. The bank records, the fake invoices, the emails. It is all there. The double doors at the back of the room opened. 4 police officers walked in. They looked serious. They walked right past the shocked guests. They walked straight to Julian. Julian Thorne, the lead officer said. He pulled out a pair of handcuffs. You are under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, and corporate theft. No. Julian screamed as they grabbed his arms. Sarah, help me. I did it for love. I did it for our family. You did it with my money, I yelled back. And that is not your family. That is your accomplice. They clicked the handcuffs on his wrists. Then the officer turned to Bianca. Bianca Miller? The officer asked. I didn't do anything. Bianca cried. She held her stomach. I just spent the money. I didn't steal it. I am pregnant. Accepting stolen funds is a crime, ma'am. The officer said. And we have evidence you signed the lease on the house using the stolen corporate funds. That is fraud. You are coming too. I can't go to jail, Bianca shrieked. I have a son. Who will watch Leo? Child Protective Services is with Leo right now, I said calmly. He is safe. He's with a foster family that won't hide him. They dragged them both out. Bianca was crying, ruining her white suit. Julian was begging for a lawyer. The guests watched in silence as the happy couple was hauled away like common criminals. The room was deadly silent. Everyone was looking at me. They were waiting to see if I would break. They were waiting for the tears. But I didn't cry. I turned back to the crowd. I smoothed my green hair. I adjusted the cuffs of my black velvet suit. I apologize for the drama, I said into the microphone. But I have zero tolerance for thieves. Please, enjoy the rest of the night. The open bar is on me. And if anyone needs a logistics consultant, my husband's position just opened up. A few people chuckled nervously. Then someone started clapping. Then another. Soon the room was applauding, not for the happy couple, but for the woman who took out the trash. I walked off the stage and went out to the balcony. The cool night air hit my face. Below me I could see the police lights flashing as they took Julian and Bianca away. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Voss. It is done. The accounts are frozen. The assets are secured. You are free. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. They wanted to build a life on my back. They wanted to use me and throw me away. They thought because they had a secret, they had power. They thought because they had a son, I would be too weak to fight back. But they forgot who I am. I am Serafina. I don't just wear the suit, I own the building. And now I am the only one left standing.